Can you turn your screen around a bit so I can actually see? But you need it on the right thing, Chris. Get off the cameras. You want it on the intros. Oh, this is going to be
Right.
Are you happy with everything?
Hey?
Are you happy with everything?
Well, I'll just do what I can do. Do the best I can.
Can you... Oh, it's alright, I've got an email. I can do it. Oh, why is it like this?
Comments and reactions not available when using the stream key. For the comments on this, so it's not going to come up there.
Oh. Well, it normally does. Ignore it. It normally does. I hope you haven't shut that down, have you?
What?
Why have you moved that now?
I just clicked Vivaldi to get craft store, and that came up.
Okay. I ain't got any email on it. Can you just check email? Halfway across where the brown thing is there next to it, that's it.
I have to shut all this down,
No, don't shut anything down. Right, forget it. Go back onto eCam. Go back to eCam.
You got a Hurley thing.
Yeah, I know that. Just go back to eCam because you're gonna shut everything down if you're not careful.
Oh, I've done eCam. Yeah.
Right, click back on your Vivaldi. I've got no sound on anyway. Right now.
Don't want to shut down that live program, do I?
No, don't shut anything down. Nothing.
It's just that that's going over my comments are going to go. But anyway, I'll work it out.
They'll come through. The comments will come through. They always do. I've got my mic on now, so we're live. Okay?
What's that?
No idea. Never mind.
Right, it's 11:59. Do you want me to scroll the things?
No, not yet, no. Not until we know we're live.
No, you'll have to see that on there. Oh, I can refresh on here, can't I?
Okay, we're there now.
Right, live now. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Paper roll. I can't see anything.
Hello, everyone. Hi. I think my microphone's on. Yay, we're live. That's fantastic. So that's a bit better than the other day. New software. Well, different software. So welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Nikki Hall. I'm from Polkadoodles. We have been on the craft store, creating craft, Ho-Chanda, hobby maker for 16 years now. So it's actually our birthday coming up in May. So who knows, you might need to watch this space. Hey, I think that we need to do something special. It's 16 years in, I think it's 2 weeks time. So thank you for joining me. And if you don't know about Polkadoodles, we're a UK company. and we supply our own design quality craft products such as stamps, dies, papers. We also make MDF and make chipboard products as well, and tools and all sorts of different things. So today I'm going to show you a little variety. This is only our second time on Craft Store, so we were here on Monday, but I know we had issues with volume and things like that. So if you can't hear us for any reason, just let me know so that I know that there's any issues. Hopefully there won't be any sound issues or anything like that this time. We had just a few technical issues. But just let us know in the comments if there is anything like that. So I'm going to show you a little variety of different products. I'm going to start off with some tools. So if we can go to the overhead camera, I want to show you some of the tools that I actually use on a daily basis. We've got a new camera operator today, so you might have to just bear with us a little. Are we there? We're not there, Chris. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Right. So, on my desk here, you can see that we have these. I've got all my ink pads all stored really nicely in this fab little tray. So this is a brand new product that we've just launched. It's only been out, I think, 2 weeks now. The whole reason this came about was because I'm working. I end up where I've got my ink pads all over my desk, and I'm kind of doing this, and then my lids are open, and I end up with ink everywhere. So I find it very irritating, and I end up with ink on the projects that I'm doing. So, and the other week, I kind of ruined a whole project because the ink on the lid actually transferred onto the project itself. So I was just so annoyed with myself. I thought, right, okay, what can I do to make some storage for these ink pads where it's a working storage that I can use as I'm going along. This is what I actually came up with. So basically, what you're going to get is you get. Bear with me a second. Wow, don't want to drop my mic pack, do I? Sorry, that was just it. Sorry for the bang. That just fell out of my pocket. Okay. Bear with me. So we have 4 different options right now, but we are going to make some more. So what you're actually going to get, there's 2 different types. There's distress holders, and then there's also rectangular ones as well. So I'll show you the distress ones first of all. And obviously the difference is that distress inks are square and not rectangular. So you are going to receive, whoops, I've put the wrong thing in. You're basically going to get a base. Ignore that, that's the rectangular base. You're going to get a base, and you're going to get your actual holder in 2 pieces. And all you need to do is just put a little bit of glue onto the underneath of this, and then you can actually just glue and attach that down. Now, if you want to, you can do what I've done here. And what that means is, by us doing it in MDF rather than in plastic or silicone or anything like that, it means that you can actually colour these as you wish. You could decorate them with papers, you could spray paint them. I just actually inked mine. So this is actually the pink Distress Oxide ink. So this is picked raspberry, because I wanted it to coordinate with that ink pad. So you can see here, this one is one I've finished. This is kind of a work in progress. So you could paint them, you could even colour them with markers, you could colour them with pencils if you want to. It's completely up to you. but it's just so easy, and they're literally, the glue just attaches with just a PVA glue, and it'll be dry within 30 seconds and you'll be using it. And it's just such a fantastic little tool. Now, just to kind of talk you through it, what actually happens is, so you've got your actual ink pad that sits inside that square perfectly, and then the game changer for me here, and what makes this kind of more than just a tray, is that you remove the lid and you sit the lid in the top here, okay? And then that means now that that just sits on your desk out of the way. It also means that you know what that colour was. So sometimes if you're using different different colours and you don't know what those names are, then you can see what the actual colours are. You then can put your brushes in there to store it. Now, our brushes are sort of a medium-sized brush, so these are our blending brushes. So they're a medium size. They will also hold your really big fat brushes as well if you've got these kind of brushes. So it'll hold both. And you can put it that way, you can do it however you want, but it's designed with a nice little channel, so it just makes them sit in there, and that gets those off your desk as well, because they're really annoying. I find it again that I end up with things, the ink off the brushes contaminating everything else that's on my desk. And then this little hole here that you can see, this is for just for kind of inserting the detail brushes. So these are our detail brushes, and you can just actually place that in there, and then you can kind of hold that all in place. So you've got your brushes, your ink pads, your lid all together. So that's the distress one. Now you're looking on my desk thinking, well, yeah, but you've got 3 there, and so I do. So this basically is a triple whammy. So now what I decided to do was to actually join these 3 together, so that you've got one whole unit that you can put together. Now, the reason I did 3 was because that was the perfect size for my desk, and I was very aware that not everyone has a great big desk. I've got a really big desk here, but even so, I don't want a great big huge display that's taking up all the room on my desk. So I do actually use 2 of these usually. So you could get 2 and then you've got 6, but generally I kind of have about 6 ink pads at a time probably on my desk. And then we can you can kind of pick and choose how you want to do it. So in terms of the excuse the doorbell, it's one of those days. So sorry, that's hilarious. So in terms of the rectangular ones, now with this, I tried to make sure that this actually will fit as many rectangular ink pads as possible. So for instance, it'll fit your VersaFine. It will fit your stamp. Now obviously your lid isn't an issue here, because on your VersaFine, you've got an integrated lid anyway, so that's not a problem. But for instance, this is about the biggest ink pad that I could find, certainly that I own anyway. And so we actually made sure that the lid still sits in there, even though that's really big. Okay, and it will also fit obviously it'll fit your VersaFine Clairs, because they're a little bit smaller. It will fit your Versamark as well. Now this one is really big. This is a nice tight fit on that one. So it's going to fit your Versamark as well. It's going to fit your Clairs. So it will pretty much fit, I think, most ink pads, unless they're obviously an oval shape ink pad. And also the really good thing is with these, if you've got smaller ink pads, I haven't got any of the little square ones, but I have quite a few of these little dewdrop ones and like the little mementos. And look, you can even use your mementos like that as well. So you could actually have 4 in there, and if you wanted to, you know, you can have 2 brushes on there as well. So, you know, if you wanted to, you could have 3 brushes and you're actually using 1. So that's a nice little station for your small ink pads as well. So, you know, you can do anything you want with those. It'll be fine. So that you've got that so that's your main rectangular one, and then to give you the same effect as the triple whammy, you have also got the option of having a double whammy. So again, it's just 2 joined together. It just takes up less space, a little bit less space. I mean, let's face it, we all need to save space on our desk. So it just saves you a little bit of space as opposed to having 2 of these together. So it just helps you keep you tidy. Helps keep you tidy, I think. So that's our ink pad storage. So grab yourself those. People have been going crazy for them. We sold out pretty much instantly when we launched these, and you know, but we do make them ourselves so we can keep them in stock. As I said, you can paint them, ink them. This one I actually just used that white ink pad there, and that's all it was on there. With my nice big triple whammy, I spent time actually painting that one. I would say if you're going to paint it out next time, I would probably get a spray paint and do it. It would just be a bit quicker and easier, I think. But it's completely up to you. So, what else are we going to show you today then? Shall we start making something? I'm going to just try and I've just realised I've got the camera out of my battery here in front of me. The battery out of my camera here in front of me. So just bear with me while I pop my battery in, because I'm going to need a close-up camera. So bear with me. Hopefully that's going to work. So the other thing that I wanted to show you today is we're going to be doing a bit of die cutting, I think, today for a change. Whoops, Chris, we've lost the camera. Okay. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go, that's better. Thank you. Technical issues. Technical issues. As I say, we've got a new cameraman today, so first time on the job. How do you think it's doing? Let us know. Chris, haven't we got some giveaways and things to do? So guys, if you're watching this live, we have a giveaway. So what that means is that if you if you leave us a comment, Chris, you've zoomed right out on my camera. Can you zoom in, please? Oh. Can you go back to the other camera? Thank you. Right. Yeah, right. Leave it on that one, please. Okay. I might have to rescue. We're not. Stop clicking things. You're going between all the cameras. You're on my face then. So, right. Sorry, guys. These lives, you know, things always go wrong. So what I want to show you is our pretty shutter window dies. So these are gorgeous. So, right, sorry, that's not that set. Okay. So these are our, these are just lovely. So this is our shutter window die set. Now, these, big dies, as you can see. So it's a really nice set. So you're going to get all of this foliage and all these flowers, and you get a little wind box here as well. You even get the stalks, the stems for the flowers, and it's so easy to use and put together. You're going to absolutely love this. So what you're going to, shall I show you what you can actually make first before I kind of keep waffling? So this is what you could actually make with this set. Look at this, isn't this gorgeous? So Natalia made this, and basically it's just so vintagey and old looking. It's just gorgeous. So she's literally made kind of like a bit of a frame, just using offcuts of card and paper here. And then in the background, we've got gorgeous texture. I don't know if you can see it there on the camera, but we've got gorgeous texture, which is using our brick stencil, which I'm going to show you in a which I'll show you. So we have this fab brick stencil. Now, this isn't really brick. I would say this is more of a stone wall, but it's just absolutely stunning. So it's an A5 stencil, that one. So nice, large stencil. And then she's built up all of this dimension, so it looks like an old Grecian window almost, doesn't it? It's gorgeous. I love what she's done here. I might actually, I think maybe I need to try and show you how to make that. And then she's just distressed and vintaged up the everything. So, and then we've got all these little pretty flowers here, which these are also in the shuttered set, and a chipboard flower here over on the edge. So that's one way you can use it. Another way, completely different, is this way. So Christine made this gorgeous little card, and again using the stone brick stencil here. We've got the windows, and you can manipulate the windows. Obviously they do open, so you can just, you know, you can make those open if you want to. I just adore the little window box. It's just so cute, so that you can you know, you can put all your little flowers in there, just multi-cut your flowers, or you can put other flowers in if you want to. Another version, nice and clean and a bit more clean and simple. Again, just using completely different colour palette this time to give you that kind of softer look. And then you could put your sentiments on here. You can do whatever you want. So there's lots of different ways to use this. So I love this one. Christine, again, she's used like a glossy, sparkly, I don't know if you can see that on camera, I think you can actually, all that sparkly texture kind of makes it feel a bit like granite. And then I just want to show you this one from Jane, again, another really vintagey one. So, you know, if this is your kind of look and you like this kind of look, you know, this is sort of a really great way to go. And again, she's used lots of texture in the background and everything. You've even getting little like vintagey neck curtains to put in here. So it's really cute. Great for, obviously, for a new home card for somebody. But just generally, I think, you know, putting a window onto a card, you can use that for almost anything. So, you know, I think there's lots of different ways of actually using these. Do you know, on mine, I've got no comments showing. Oh, they're there at the bottom. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, they're there at the bottom. Oh, no, that ain't me. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to see your comments, guys. No, never mind. Doesn't matter. I might as well shut that down now. I've lost it. Okay, so Chris is going to feed the comments back to me if there's anything that you want me to answer. Oh, I can just see you now. Hi, Pauline. Two Paulines. Pauline Straker, Pauline Taylor. Hi, Sue. Yeah, definitely great for new home cards. So don't forget, guys, that we've got that giveaway. So there's a giveaway And we've also got a coupon code for you today. So Chris is going to actually put all of the links in the comments if he can. He's trying his best, bless him. But he's new to this game, so bear with him. So he's trying to feed. Oh, hang on, the comments have come up now. I think I didn't refresh. I've got a new iPad and I don't know how to use it. I can't work it. It's just all like different to my old ones. They do all this newfangled stuff, don't they? And now I can't. I don't know. It's not refreshing for me. I can't see it. If I click on it, Chris, it just shows me the video. It doesn't show any of the comments.
I had that issue.
Yeah. So right, let's get. Sorry, I'm wittering on. Let's get making something. So first of all, before I get distracted again and don't finish my sentence, if you've only just joined us, enter win in the comments, and at the end of the video, just before we end, we will draw a random winner to win a £25 voucher to the Polkadoodles stores.
Yeah.
Okay.
We only have one entrant so far. So.
One entrant. I know who that is. That's somebody that's won before or has been here before on our lives. So please just type comment, even if you don't want to say anything in the comments and you're watching, because I know lots and lots of people are watching but not commenting. Just type win, and that's all it is. Just type win and we will select a winner from the people that say win, and you'll get a £25 voucher to spend, which is basically a stamp and die set at least, if not a whole load of other stuff as well. So, and also the other thing I've got to mention as well is that we have a 30% discount off your order when you use code CS30. And Chris will try and find the thing to put it on the screen.
I've already done that.
Oh, you've done it, have you?
I've already done
that. Okay, well done, Chris. Okay, let's get started then, shall we? So I am just gonna grab. I've done a little bit of prep here, so just to save a little bit of time. Oh, is that my? This isn't my tissue, by the way. This is my tissue for me crafting. It hasn't got anything nasty on there. Right. Okay. So let's make a card. I'm gonna see if we can actually make what Natalia did. That's the wrong card stuff. I'm just going to make a card base first of all, because I kind of want to show you how she did that if I can. I don't know if I'm going to have time. I was planning to do 2 or 3 demos, but I don't know if I've got time. Now, if you're wondering what this tool is that I'm using here, this is our Easy Creaser tool. So as you can see with this, are you flicking around again, Chris?
I'm trying to get the right camera back.
Just use the same camera all the time. The overhead. They don't want to see my face. It's broken it. No, you need to be on that side, down that side. Click the camera in at the bottom that you want. Click on it. Now go to the scene and click the scene. We'll choose a different camera because that one has maybe got stuck or something.
Oh, something's happened.
Side, I don't want the side one. Okay, right, just leave it on that. Don't touch anything else, okay? Just leave it there. He needs a bit more practice, everyone, I think. You'll have to rate him at the end for his camera work.
Oh, no.
So part of the problem is he's moved everything on the screen. He's trying to see too many things, do too many things at once, and he can't see everything on his screen. So this is our Easy Creaser tool. So if you haven't seen this before, if you have already, I'm sorry, I don't want to bore you to death, but this is such a cute little tool. It's so cool. So on this end here, if you can see, it has all these little nodules on here. Basically what that does is it's going to help you lift up your adhesive tape. Now, you're going to say, what? I've never heard of such a thing. Now, also, it's got a bend in it here, and I've purposely done that so it's nice and ergonomic in the hand. When I was testing this, we made it flat and it just didn't really work that well. And also, if we're going to do a tool, I want it to be able to do lots of different things. So basically, what you can do, you saw me then, let me do it on here again. I actually use this as a creasing tool. It's got a pointy end on it here. It's made out of silicone, so it's a nice tough plastic. Now I have to say, someone actually emailed us the other day and they'd snapped theirs. Now I think to snap this you've got to put some serious pressure on it. I think it's probably been stood on. You know, it is not something that you need to apply lots of pressure. If you snapping it, you're putting way too much pressure on it. It should not. You do not need to use it in that way. I don't know what they've done to it. But, you know, mine's had some hammer. You might find that you dent it a little bit. I've dented mine by running it along scissors and things like that. But basically, you've got a pointy end, so you can actually do a crease. You then have this rounded side here, which means that once you've done that crease, you can actually burnish your crease and you can get that nice crisp edge. Okay, so that's why you've got that bend, and that's why mine's actually just got a little bit of marks, a few marks on here. But all bone folders do this anyway, unless they're made of really hard plastic. And the reason we did it out of silicone was because I actually used to work in the print industry. I've said this a million times, so sorry to bore you. And we use proper bone folders in printing, and that's how this is how we crease in proper printing, in professional printing. And basically, a bone folder gives you the crispest edge ever. But obviously, it's not great doing it out of bone because it is real bone, animal bone, whatever that might be. So rather than having it in bone, I wanted to do it in a different material, but I didn't like the way the plastic ones work. So by doing it in silicone, it just kind of gives, I don't know, it's just a slightly different feel. Now, anyway, I need to get on or we're not going to get a demo done. So what this actually does and what this was designed for initially, in fact, let me get a wide bit of tape if I've got one. I seem to only have a little thin, you know, I don't use red tape much anymore, but anyway, here we go, brand new one. Ooh, look. Now, for a start, look, this is what you can do with it. So you're going to use the knobbly end, the knobbly bit, and look what happens. So if you can't get, let me get these are all new rolls here. Look, this one. Just go like this around your tape. You know, like when you're trying to find the end of your tape. The end of my tape's there, look. See if we can get that off. This has got double. Do you know, I've got glasses on, I can't see, I'm making hard work out of it. There we go. So that just lifts it. What it does, it's not going to remove the tape for you, but what it does is it lifts it for you. So it finds the end here, and it will just literally lift that up. So it's just fab. So the other thing that then it's fantastic for, do it on the back of here, okay. First of all, when you're using this red tape, I don't know about you, but I like to burnish mine. So I use this to burnish like this. And then I'm not going to use that end because it's already lifted. So then I'm going to take, because obviously once you do that, it's hard to get off. So I'm just going to take my lifter and do that. Now I'm not pressing it, I'm catching it. So I'm catching the end. So like I said, if you're breaking this, you're doing it wrong. Trust me. So you can burnish it with, it's got quite a nice flat edge here, so you can burnish it down like that, or you can just lift it up like that. And look, it just helps to, can you see how it just helps to lift that end of the tape? And then the other thing, the other reason I wanted it with a rounded section is so that then you can also use that to lift your tape up as well. So it just helps you, instead of having, because I know a lot of us go and get our pokey, then go, you know, like this, and we're there with the pokey tool, and it doesn't always work very well, does it, with a poker tool? I find it doesn't anyway. So just to show you again, and this will work, it's not just for red tape, it'll work on all your tapes and lots of other things that you might need to peel off as well, you know, maybe it's stickers or anything like that. So normally we're here with the end of a poker tool, and because the problem with this is it's a sharp point, so you're gonna, you know, you can easily damage your card. I have there, even though I'm not actually pressed down, I've actually put an indentation in. So instead of that, just literally go like that. And what you don't want, you know, don't be pressing, because you will put little nodules into your cardstock. So please don't break it. It like floored me when I found out that someone had broken it, because I was kind of like, wow, I just don't know how you've even done that. So if that was you, I'm sorry, but you know, you're a bit heavy-handed. Okay, so let's try and replicate Natalia's gorgeous project, shall we? I think Chris has gone for a lie down. He's so stressed out, bless him. So I think what we'll do, first of all, now I want to show you what she actually did, really. So I'm kind of gonna just do part of this, I think. Time's cracking on. So I'm just going to cut some, this is just a bit of craft card. And what I'm going to do is I want it to be bigger than the actual window itself. So I'm going to just cut a bit off the bottom there. Maybe to about there. So that we've got our kind of window base, if you like that. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to get my stencil going first before I forget. So, I'm going to just use my brick stencil. And this time, because this project is a bit smaller than Natalia's. She's done hers on an 8x8, I think. I'll just grab some tape. So, I'm going to go right to the edge of mine. Now, I need to just grab my ink. And I want to just show you a little neat trick with these and how to get a really great effect with your brick stencil. So let me just grab my stencil brushes. Whoops, sorry. Oh, my microphone keeps falling off out of my. Oh, see why? Oh, I'm all caught. Chris. Oh God. Sorry, I'm all caught. Whoops. I'm attached to my chair.
Oh no. Attached to your chair.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Sorry. I'm sorry for all the rattling. I've managed to wrap it all around my chair. So it'll just have to stay there. Okay. Oh, it's one of them days. Okay. So here I've got Lost Shadow, and it's when I bend down it keeps falling. So Lost Shadow Distressing. Now obviously you can do whatever colours you want to, but this is a really nice pale grey. Now I'm going to just, I don't want to do it everywhere, okay? So, and because we're going to cover the centrepiece of our project anyway, we don't need to go all the way around. Now this is really nice and soft, so I'm going to try and go a bit faster. I'm aware that we're losing a lot of time here. Okay, now look, this is what I was talking about. Look what's happened. I've put my lid down on there. Now that's irritating, so annoying. So look again, but what you can do as well, I discovered this the other day. Look, if you've already got an ink pad in there, you could stack it up as well. And look at this one, if I'd have got that one all over my project. So look, that's vintage photos, so that ain't coming off anything, is it? So look, let's just, so I'm gonna just lightly go in here. Now, I'm not being too careful here about the bricks matching up. It's up to you if you want to, but my project is bigger than my stencil is. So, and as I said, half these bricks are not even going to be visible. So we've got grey and vintage photo on there, which looks great on its own, but I want to show you a little trick. So first of all, I'm going to just go a little bit heavier in some places. So I'm trying to find where I've actually gone over here. That's it. So if you're moving it around, a little trick is just do one or two areas on each side that you can actually match your stencil to. So look, I've gone quite heavy on those two bits, and now I can kind of register this stencil onto there when I actually start moving it around. So, two colours. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come in with Victorian velvet, and you're thinking pink bricks? No way. Trust me, you're going to love this effect. So, again, oh look, I've got 3 stacked now, look, so that works as well. That's cool, isn't it? Do you know, I never even thought about doing that, Chris. Isn't that cool?
Idea.
So look,
Brilliant.
again, because you only need one lid holder, don't you? So you could kind of keep stacking them up, which makes it even better. Right, I'm going to come back and register to this bottom area now, okay? And now I'm going to just put a little bit of pink. And remember, I'm just really going around the edges because I don't want too much. I don't want anything in the middle. There's no point in us ink in the middle because nobody's going to see it anyway. So just a tiny bit, and quite light as well. I want a little bit on the top there. I've missed a bit up there. Okay. And just to show you what that then does. So look how that kind of starts to lift some of the areas. Now, I've got a big dark bit over here. I need something else over here now. So what I'm going to do now, let me just put my lid on. Oh, look what I can do. Where's my... I'm going to come in with my blue. Okay, so, yeah, distress. Yeah, do I need that? Is that the one that I used last time? No, sorry, it's not peacock. Sorry, speckled egg. Okay, so in with my lid. Grab my blending brush. Okay, and line up my stencil again. So this time, so this is a nice grey, it's like slaty grey colour, which is just fab. Okay, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom here, and we need to go off the edge down here and actually get some depth going on this side. But don't forget, you need to also come in on the other side and kind of try and make it match, or just so that you've got colour on both sides. And you know, you can see I'm not being precious over it in any way, shape or form. And look what's happened. So having those two extra colours and not just going, let me show this. Now there's nothing wrong with this, look. So this one has just been done in one brown. Okay, maybe there might be a little bit of yellow added in here, but like one browny tone. Not sure what that is actually, that colour. It might look like a tan or something. So you've got that, or you've got this one where you've got for the sake of just putting 4 colours in there and just overlaying those colours and mixing it up. Okay, so that's the brick stencil. So remember guys, you get 30% off your orders, and that's only up until Monday. So that's our Easter craft store code. So that's a specific code for craft store. So it's a bit of an exclusive. So let's just start to actually get something going with this. Okay, so I'm going to grab my vintage photo again. and I'm going to just ink around the edges. And I think actually I might get walnut stain here as well, just to go a bit, yeah, go a bit darker. Okay, how much time are we on? I've lost my screen. Oh my goodness. Okay, so much for doing 3 demonstrations today. Sorry. So remember, are you entering win in the comments? If you want to win £25 gift voucher to the store, you could actually buy this die and the stencil, I think, with £25. Okay, so I wanted to do some, never mind. Okay, I was going to do something else, but not to worry. Now, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to cut this now smaller than this piece. So this measures 11 centimetres by 11 by 17 roughly. Now, you know me, I don't really measure, but you know, hey ho. So I'm going about 3 centimetres smaller. So we've got 1.5. Maybe I need to go a bit wider than that. 2 centimetres smaller. Okay, and I want that to be a mat. That works nice. Okay, so then we're going to come in with our, so I'm using walnut stain here. Okay, just, you know, you don't need to be, Chris is laughing at me. What are you laughing at? Me just slapping it on. And what I quite like on this is that I've used like a ribbed cardstock, so it's actually giving me even more texture. It kind of almost looks like bricks or like wood underneath. So look, just to show you, if you've got your, I mean, these are going to come off anyway, but even your foam pads, if I do it on this edge, look, lifts the edge up for you. So if you've got little tiny 3D foam pads that are a nightmare to get off, you can use it on your foam pads as well, that creaser tool. Okay, now what we want is a section that is going to go across here. So I want that to match up, and I'm just going to cut that by eye. By eye. Okay. And I just want it to sit like that. So I'm going to just mark it there, and we'll just cut that by hand. And again, I'm going to just ink that as well. It would have saved me time if I'd done it in a dark brown cardstock, but never mind, which I've just realised I do actually have to hand. Now this as well, what I want to do is I want to get some edges going. So I want to just, I'm not getting enough distress on here for my liking, so I'm just going to run my ink pad over the top. Remember, enter win in the comments if you want to get that voucher. Pauline Taylor won last time, and I saw her order. She bought some really nice things. I think I did anyway. I think it was your order, Pauline. I'm not sure. She bought some very nice things. So now with this, we can actually, in fact, what I'm going to do, let me see. Yeah. Okay. So just going to get a, I'm going to just turn that over. And then I'm following what Natalia's done here. She's very clever. So where that sits there, kind of where this is going to meet this background, I'm just going to chop that off. Okay. Just marked it on. So we're kind of creating almost like a mitre. And what I'm doing, why I'm doing this by hand is because this card actually has a rib in it. So now we can, let's just put ourselves some little pads. So much for non-stick scissors. Okay, so now we can, I need to get a move on, we're not going to get this finished, are we? Okay, and then I've got one still stuck, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to cut this one down here. And this one, I'm going to trim there. So I'm just making it, sorry, I've got my pen in my mouth. I'm just making it match what's underneath. And it gives us these little mitered edges. Now, I'm going to have to use a bit of pin flour, I think. I haven't got any tiny. And also, oh, I would if it worked. It's all gunked up. Okay, bear with me. Is everyone still with us, Chris?
I think so, yes.
Do you know, I always feel like it's really quiet because you can't, I want people's comments to be their voice. Do you know what I mean? I wish the comments were actually people leaving a comment. Wouldn't that be cool, don't you think? Instead of just typing it, it'd be quite cool. So I always feel like nobody's watching, and actually you are, and there's lots of people watching, but I get, it doesn't take much to confuse me, as you probably guess. Okay, look at that, how cool is that? And then, now I'm going to make just a little section here. Oops, this has gone a bit cross-eyed, well, I didn't realise this would take this long. Okay, so I'm just creating another little mitre, and it's just to follow the same angle. I'm just going to dip that in me. Just to follow the same angle again. Where's my film packs gone? And you can see why I made the ink pad holders, can't you, when you see the mess on my desk. We haven't even started the window yet. Okay. Chris, what time are we on? You need to keep reminding me what time I'm on. Chris?
Oh, yeah, you have 12 minutes.
Oh, okay. As you can tell, Chris zones out.
Concentrating, you see, that's what it is.
Concentrating, is that what you call it?
Yes.
Okay. If that's what you say. Okay. And then I'm just going to do another little section here. And so you can see all she's done is actually, oh, I broke my teeth then. All she's done is just build it up out of strips and scraps of paper or cardstock. And this one I'm just going to glue if my glue's working. Just, okay. So we've got that one there, and I'm going to just, again, ink that. Oops. Okay. So let me just clean this mess up. I think I've got my arms in it nicely. So we've now got our brick wall. We've then got this. I'm going to add some pads to the back of this. So Chris is leaving links for these products in the comments for you. Remember, you've got 30% off with code CS30 until just after Easter. I think it's I don't know. I can't remember when it runs out actually. But anyway, you've got a few days. But I think it finishes after the weekend, I think. Now, I have. So look, mine's different, but hopefully you can see where I'm going. I just wanted to show you how to construct this whole this kind of element, if you like. Nowhere near as nice as Natalia's, but you know, hopefully we can put our own take on it, can't we? So I've already, luckily because of time, I've already die cut all my pieces here. Okay, so I've got my window, and we want to also obviously distress this. Now, I still want it to look like it's a white window, so I'm just going to run. If you run the ink up and down these shutters, it'll automatically, can you see how it's automatically finding its place to actually distress it without you even thinking about it? So just run them and it's catching the edge. If you wanted to, you could use a little detail brush if you wanted to get a little bit darker in there, which I might do. So let's, and there's also sort of like some creases on here as well. So, and again, what I'm going to do is use some of the Lost Shadow. When I find the brush, what am I doing with the brush for that? I used it for something a different colour. Never mind. That's the other thing as well, why I need these holders, because it keeps my colours right. Because I am terrible, I don't know about you, but I'm terrible for mixing my colours on my brushes, and I find it very annoying. Okay, and then I want speckled egg. Look, you see, I'm mixing things up. Okay, let's get some speckled egg in. And we've got, so now look how that changes when we start to actually put it on there. So now I want to distress my window box, and again, so use, God, I've used an orange brush for that, but anyway, never mind. 3D foam. Okay, nearly done. We've got just assembly bits here, but the main thing was I wanted to show you the window box, the window itself, and how to kind of assemble that. So I'm going to lift this off. I want it to be dimensional. And what Natalia's done is, Chris, what time are we at?
Oh, you have 7 minutes left.
7 minutes. You need to put me on a countdown because I'm going to run out of time if I'm not careful. Oh, I've not shown you half the things I wanted to show you. Okay, so I'm just creating a little scene at the back here, so behind the window. Is there any comments, Chris? Do I need to reply to anything?
No.
No?
Nothing
No
to worry
comments.
about.
Okay, nobody's asking any questions. So I'm going to go to and just clean this. This is our craft spongy, if you've not seen my cleanup tools. Okay, let's do a little bit of a background there. Crikey. Get my ink pads in the right place. Green, there we go. So you can see why I need the ink pad holder. So if you're a bit like me, you know, this is the way to go with it. So we've created just a little background there. Oh, that's so nice. So let's just glue that down. Glue that down there. And then I want to put, oh, there we go. Nothing changes, does it? I will never be a tidy crafter, and that's all there is to it.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Oh. I might have to abandon. Okay, so let's just position that on there. Obviously make sure that we cover that background scene. And, oops, bend our shutters. I want the shutters to come forward a bit and just have like a little bit of movement. Natalia's is much nicer than mine is, but you can take your time at home. Obviously, if I was doing it, you know, without a time constraint, then I would take my time a bit more. Let me get all these out of the way. Crikey. Look, all this So we've got a little neck curtain in here, which is so cute. I really love this. So I'm going to just ink that and keep going with the kind of oldie worldy theme. So let's just put that into there. Should have done that first really, but anyway, never mind, it will go in. So just slot that in, make sure it's straight. And then we've got all this great foliage. So you're going to get all of this foliage in with the dies themselves. Now, I don't think I'm going to have time to do all of this. What I do have here... Pardon?
Couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes. So what I'm going to do is you would just then finish off by adding all. I'll show you the point to where I got to. So we've created the stain. Obviously mine's less distressed than Natalia's is. So all you're going to do is use, and she's actually cut all these in white and then she's inked them. I'm not going to have time to do them. Let's get rid of that. But you can see how gorgeous that is. It's a beautiful die set, really, really nice. You've got all these great dies, and also what I would say is if you're going for this, there's also the Botanical Foliage Dies, and these were sized to also match this. So she's actually used some of the dies from there as well. And one thing is, these little roses here, just here, that are in the dies, these are like little, what do you call them? Little curly roses. So you actually cut them, there's 2 layers to it, so tiny, but they're those that you twist around, and so they're actually dimensional. Don't know if you can see that. Can you see how dimensional it is? So it's just fab to have so much dimension on just a little rose, and they're just gorgeous. So who's the winner, Chris? Come on, we've got to call the winner. We're going to run out of time. Haley will cut us off. Let's go with Pippa. So Pippa, congratulations. You've just won a £25 voucher for the Polkadoodles store. Woohoo! Well done. We actually have a horn noise somewhere, but I'll have to teach Chris how to use it for next time. So, thank you for joining me. How many minutes we've got left?
Less than 2.
Okay, so because we've got 2 minutes left, I want to just show you another tool, because I know you're all big fans of die cutting. So I want to show you one more tool that is an absolute must-have. I can't live without it. It was born by me. If you've not seen this before, if you've seen it before, I'm sorry, but if you haven't, there's always people that haven't. And basically, this is our magnetic die wand, and this is you're going to get 2 in the pack, and they come. It's a little plastic wand, and basically, on the side that doesn't have the stickers on, you can see these are highly magnetic. So these contain neodymium magnets, and you get a rectangle and you get a dot magnet on it. And what you're going to do, you're going to actually use these to lift your dies off your magnetic sheets. It'll also help to release them from your paper. Now this is a really strong magnetic sheet. It's a really quality one, and this is a big die, but you can see that it just easily lifts it off. Whoops, there you go. The small ones, look what happens. So you need these in your life if you haven't already got them, because it saves you handling the dies. You know, when it's just uncomfortable. It gets chipping nails if you are big on your manicures and things. Right, so was it Pippa we picked?
Yes.
So Pippa, I will direct message you. I might need to friend you. So when I get off the live, I'll send you a direct message. But if we're not friends, I'll need to send you a friend request. Or can you email me at website at polkadoodles.co.uk so we can sort out your gift voucher. I'm going to need your email address for that. So if you can just, that'd be better actually, if you just email me. So thank you all for joining me. I will be back on Monday, Easter Monday, again at 12. And I'll try and do whatever it was I didn't do for the rest of today, and we'll try and train Chris a little bit more in the meantime, so that
I'm off for a lie down
you know,
after this.
if you want to give him some marks out of 10 in the comments, I'm sure he'd be very appreciative. And then we'll see if we can get your score rate up a bit, Chris, next time. But thank you so much for joining me. It's time for me to head off. Have a great weekend and happy Easter. And I will see you all on Monday, I hope, for more giveaways. Don't forget the big discount code as well. So CS30 gets you 30% off your order. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.